Morning, water.
Anybody creating ETH?
Last. I want flappers. I want flappers.
Backbench. They run the nitrous game out.
Nothing they happen for you.
Nothing they happen for girl. I want flappers. My baby is a for me to that side.
My person system no go up for
We're doing it is good, but I like to Tony the stop the
Thought Lingard was available, so we could start the class. Before you know, 30 minutes will finish us now. I beg me come online.
Let's just start the class. Please, everybody should mute. So today, what are we going to talk about today is about liquidity. Please, for the recordings, if you know you are recording,
Your niggas don't play.
use laptop, use which is PC. If you use your phone and record, you won't hear anything. You just like drawing and everything. But if you use like the laptop and request for recording, if after recording, this thing will show in your this thing, something that will appear on your screen, something like converting. Allow that to convert, finish, then you can actually send it to the group through files or Telegram.
Okay.
Telegram is the best place. Okay, today we're going to talk about liquidity.
So, but
The
I'm
last
trying
class
to.
was about market structure, how we
Yeah,
see it.
you don't start this. Your network no good, okay?
I dey try send request to record, but the thing no gree, you know work.
Who?
It says host is already recording.
Okay. Let me check mine. Hello.
Send it again. What didn't hear now? And no, Ebube. Me. I'm just trying to check if this alarm record. Today we're going to talk about the
Please, your voice is cracking. Oh. We are not hearing you, please. I'm not hearing you. Your voice is cracking, please.
Nigga, I'm just pulling from the app.
Hope you guys are hearing me now. Because my network was actually bad.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Talking about liquidity and everything. Number one, you have to understand that liquidity is basically everywhere in the market. We have the high, the the high low, double top, double bottom. All of them is consist of the liquidity and everywhere. So, but the question should be, how do we like make use of this liquidity, the highs that I mentioned now? So we have the highs, the double top. You have the double bottom, and you also have we call trend liquidity, whereby please mute, please mute. So whereby market will just keep maintaining the same range, going up like this. So you can actually say that this is like a trend liquidity, more especially mostly the market will just come and clear all this trend liquidity. So that's not all we. So how do we make use of this? What's the pattern we use in trading um this liquidity stuff? How do we identify our liquidity and how do we make use of liquidity to trade? Number one, you will understand structure, whereby now to make use of this liquidity, just have it in mind that the first pullback before taking out a particular structure, and the first pullback after taking out a particular structure is your liquidity. Just have at the back of your mind. For example, what do I mean by that? You see market going up and you see like a particular structure. Before taking out this particular structure, what we have is the first pullback. So this first pullback now is our liquidity, whereby what will happen? Market after breaking out this zone, market will come back to your zone and buy. Remember, first pullback before taking out this particular structure. For example, market is uptrend. You know, when taking out a particular high, the next high, market will give you this first pullback. Then, even if market like made another retracement and go up, you don't have to be like, let me use this particular one. Let me use this one as the first pullback. No, before taking out this particular structure, where is your first pullback? This is your first pullback, which is what? Your liquidity. Even if market break another zone, is you see your liquidity. So you have to wait patiently for this low to be taken out. Then after taking it out, market will pick your POI and note your POI should always be near to liquidity. So any POI that is near to this liquidity, market will pick it and buy. For example, you have order block here, you have order block here. For example, now we have two order block. Let me just make it. For example, we have one order block here. We have another order block here. We have two order block now. Now, like I said, the first pullback is your liquidity. And also I said your POI, your POI, yeah, should always be near to liquidity. Hope you guys are hearing me. Should always be near to liquidity. So if you have this other block here, I have two other block here. Which one are you using? You're using that one near to liquidity as your POI. Some of you guys don't really hear me. Mute is just a simple instruction. Simple instruction. Let me just and most of you are not concentrated because I don't think you are hearing me and you're making some noise like that. And after teaching now, I'll see so many reasonable questions. So the first pullback before taking out the particular structure is your liquidity. So even if market made another pullback here, you try to use this one as a POI. No, your first pullback is your liquidity. Whereby after taking out that liquidity out, you pick the zone near to liquidity as your POI. For example, now another pattern is this one is before taking out a particular structure, for taking out this high, the first pullback, and we have when market takes out the structure entirely. Remember, this one is first pullback before taking out a particular structure. This one is after taking the structure entirely. Now, market will give you a pullback to create liquidity for your POI down to be valid. So, for example, now market made another move up again. No, you don't have to like another move like this. You don't have to pick this particular zone as your POI. No, this is the first pullback, and no, your first pullback is your liquidity. So you have to wait for the first pullback to be taken out, then buy. You get. So there's this thing that always like make structures like your structure more valid, whereby something like this liquidity sweep. I didn't actually add it though. Sorry. Liquidity sweep. Liquidity. Sorry. Let me just draw the pattern again. So you know things like this. Liquidity sweep. Now this is the high. You understand? So this is like market taking out this liquidity, breaking out the liquidity to the downside. Then before taking out this particular high, market will give you a pullback and go up. So you know there is another up again. Now this liquidity sweep here makes your zone more valid. You understand? Whereby this is like a protected low now. This low is a very protected low. So once you see things like this, whereby you see structural liquidity takeout, then if you're taking out a particular POI, you see like your POI, for taking out a particular structure, market will give you a pullback, then you patiently wait for your that pullback to be taken out, then your POI. Let me draw the next one. The second pattern is after taking out this particular structure, market will give you another pullback, then come back, take the pullback out, which is your liquidity, and pick your POI and buy. So I will show you examples in the chat. So these are the particular structures you should be aware of. First pullback for taking out the particular structure out. Now this one is after taking out this particular structure. The first one, the first pullback, then market will pick your POI and buy. Now there is this thing also I want to talk about. The second pattern I made mention of the first, I said when market takes out the zone entirely, then you wait for the market to create liquidity, for you to pick your POI. And note now, I want to explain something. It's not really a must whereby you wait for market now. For example, you have this data structure take out and you're waiting for market to like make a pullback, go up again, break this particular high for you to regard this zone as your liquidity. No, it's not a must. The market will pick a zone, the market will break this zone out for you to regard your POI valid. No. See, I don't know if you guys have seen structure like this, whereby you see things like this happening. Then pick your POI and buy. So this is basically like creating liquidity also for your POI. Now you have to understand that for these things now, why something like this can actually happen is because now let me is once market break this particular structure, even if downside or like upside, once there is a break of structure, a zone is being created. Once there is a break of structure, a zone is being created. Now it's left for you to decide if that zone that is created is a valid zone or invalid zone. Understand? So once there is this particular break of structure, both in lower time frame or higher time frame, a zone is being created. So it's not less for you to choose if this zone is valid or is not. But together with what we have actually learned from the last class and what we are going to learn today, we can be able to learn like understand if this zone, we can be able to learn if our zone is valid or not, like the ones that is valid. For example, like I said, the first pullback. Now, for example, you have something like this structure break, and now you have a POI down. You have a POI down, which is the other block. Now, this one is not actually valid from the structure we are seeing now. This one is not valid. Why? Because we haven't seen our liquidity. Now, market, in some cases, see what market always do. Market will just keep breaking zone like this. Now, before reaching your POI, remember, before reaching your POI, market will break a zone to the upside. So what happened here is the market like broke a zone to the upside, creating liquidity for your POI. So this is like creating like change of character, giving change of character to induce the early buyers, to liquidate the early buyers. I don't know if you understand. So this is like creating liquidity now for your POI to be valid since we have other block below. So market didn't really go up to break out this high. So once there is a break of structure, a zone has been created now. So now you that understand structure and liquidity knows that this is like liquidity. You have a POI down. So you have to wait for this zone to be taken out and pick your POI and buy. So it's not really a must. The market will break this zone out. In case you see something like this, you can actually take your POI too. And also, please remember all these things I'm talking about here now should always correspond with the market trend. All this should correspond with the market trend. You get, so if your market is uptrend, you should be able to look for buy setups. If market downtrend, you should be able to look for sell setup. Because one funny thing about this market is that market always gives the sellers and the sellers and the buyers opportunity to enter, but whoever respects the trend, market will respect him or her. And let me show you some examples of this particular structure I've been talking about now. Now in good 5 minutes time frame, Now, in good, market is uptrend. I remember what I told you guys. We have this high and we have the low here. And one market did it at like you can see liquidity sweep here down, and we have the other block here below here. Now, before taking out this particular high, this is our high. Before taking it out, market gave a pullback. Now went up. Take out this particular structure out. Now the retracement now coming back here is taking out this liquidity out and picking your other block for buy. And remember, we had a liquidity sweep. This liquidity sweep I'm talking about here makes your zone more valid and more strong, whereby you already have like a sweep to the downside. So your other block is basically strong and can check this other zone here too. Before taking out this high out, we have first, now we have the sweep of liquidity to the downside. Now we have liquidity before going up and taking out this particular structure. Market made a pullback here and went up. Coming back is taking out this particular liquidity and picking up POI and buy again. So this is the structure I told you guys about. First pullback before taking out a particular structure. I can see it. Let me show you another pair. I think GSD, GPGPY, sorry. GPGPY, this was, if you check here, we have this other block here, and here you can also see the liquidity sweep, sorry. Liquidity sweep. Now, before going up, if you watch closely, before going up, what do we have? We have this, sorry. We have a pullback before taking out all the structural, which is where is the first move? This is the first pullback, and market went straight up. So you can see that we have many breaks here, but where is the first pullback? This is the first one. So if you can watch here, market after doing what it wants to do, came back and pick your POI, which is the other block. Now this is like inducement zone. I think when something like that happen, many of you entered here too as your POI entered here because you can actually call this. But the first pullback is always like my liquidity. Now market will pick your POI, do as if you want to buy. All of a sudden, sell down to my POI, then buy. I can see that how that buy is. If you watch the diagram correctly, you can know what I'm talking about. And know all these things I'm talking about, please. All these things always aligns with the trend of the market, please. Anything you are doing, please respect market trend. If market is uptrend, try buy, and market do not trend, try to sell. And I've in the last class I told you guys how to like get this trend of a thing, whereby you go and build a time frame. You use this well. Let me just explain more. Now the market is uptrend, and what we have here too, we have like liquidity sweep down. After taking out this particular structure out, what do we have? We have a pullback. And what I told you guys, that first pullback is always my liquidity. Even if market made another move up, that first pullback is always my liquidity. So I'm waiting for the first pullback to be taken out. Then look for my buy. These are the structures which I said something like liquidity sweep, break, made a pullback, and that break again. So I can't use this one as my liquidity, as my POI. That first pullback, so I will wait for this low to be taken out, pick my POI and buy. This is exactly what happened there. Exactly what happened there. Let me check if I can see another. Well, this one is just like the pattern which I showed you guys. This is like, for example, now this is when we have like it's just a single pattern of just a structural break without no liquidity. Before market reached your POI, market was just forming liquidity stuff. All of a sudden, liquidity stuff, then pick up POI and buy. That's why this buy. You can see the liquidity that marked out below there. I will show you some more example about this liquidity stuff on good, because many of you was wondering why it took good sell here, and I will explain though. Here's a good sell, BTC sell. Now this BTC sell now, okay. This BTC sell now, you might be wondering why I marked this zone as my liquidity. Let me just explain. In 1 minute, there is this other block here, but before reaching that other block, before reaching that particular other block, what do we have? We have like a structure break to the downside. Now creating effect zone, which is the inducement zone, or you can just say liquidity, creating liquidity for that other block now to be valid. Before reaching that particular other block that doesn't have liquidity, before reaching it, market made a pullback down to break some zone, creating zones now, which is an invalid zone. I will regard that as liquidity for my zone to be valid. And well, many of you will be asking why I choose this week as my listing. Well, this is not week. In 1 minute time frame, is another block, but that's not the case why I mark that zone as my POI. Why I mark that zone as my POI is because that zone is like a breaker block. So this is like a reconfirmation from that breaker block. That is a breaker block, and this is like a reconfirmation from the breaker block. You can see here. So this is like reconfirmation to the breaker block. Sell down. I'll explain about breaker block. I'll explain more about breaker block. I'm just trying to get some more examples on structure. Now, if you check this 1 hour, 1 hour this time frame, and what we have what, that's why I said one market in the last class. I said if market is making a pullback, you shouldn't change your bias. So by, for example, you were selling down, all of a sudden the market started like going up. Now you try to change your bias to bullish. Why I bought here is because I know the market is retracing back to a particular POI. Now, if you are using 15 minutes time frame and watching some trades there, you won't actually see what I'm saying in 1 hour time frame. That's why it's good to use multi time frame. And I showed you guys how to do that in the next class. Now, this is the structure which I showed you guys first. Liquidity takeout, creating liquidity. Creating after taking out this particular low, markets went up again, create liquidity, sell down. So you can see that there was a multiple sell here. Then after all said and done, market made a retracement to that first pullback, take it out and start selling down. If you watch closely, this is what happened there. Let me draw the diagram. First, liquidity sweep, take out this particular structure, made a pullback, sell down, the retracement, going back to our POI and selling down. But for this, I'm not trying. I'll keep repeating this stuff. For this to be possible, I respected the trend of the market. Okay. Now I will talk about the next POI, which is breaker block. Now breaker block is not actually that hard because breaker block is just like another block. All of us, I think many of us here know what is breaker block, which is we have other block. When we have other block that failed to hold, for example, you have other block, and what you're waiting for this other block to sell down, to pull the market down. All of a sudden, the market fell to hold. So this is now a breaker block. This one is now a breaker block. This one is now a breaker block. And I know that you was marking your other block like this, but you can actually just mark it out like this because you want to use it as your POI now. It's not a breaker block. But what makes this, we have many breaker block in the market, and we have many other blocks in the market. Now, this 2 POI, what makes our POI valid is liquidity. I know most of you ask this, that's why I'm saying it. What makes our POI, the 2 POI that we use, valid is liquidity, which is always our first pullbacks. Now, when you see something like this, what will give you the confidence to buy this USD GPY from this zone? Number one, the structure break to the downside. Secondly, when market gives you the inefficiency or FVG. You know what I mean by inefficiency? Like when market gives you that long candlestick movement, more especially on BTC. You can actually see it. Many people do. Now, the inefficiency or FVG inside the zone. The second one is the first pullback the market will create, which is our liquidity go up. It's like creating liquidity for your POI now to be valid. That's why some of you ask me if I'm using FVG as my POI. I'm not using FVG as my POI. There are more to that FVG, which is the breaker block that I marked out from this zone. So, but here there should be FVG or inefficiency, making this zone more valid. Remember, I said first break, second inefficiency or FVG, third one liquidity, then coming back to your POI and buy. And now we have another question. What if we have two other block that fell to wood? Which one is valid? When you have two other block now that fell to wood, both of them is now breaker block. But which one are you going to choose as your main POI for you to buy? Both of them is like two POI. We have two POI now. But which one are you going to choose? Now remember, market always target the first breaker block that fell to wood. That one should be in your mind always. Market always targets the first breaker block, the first other block that fell to wood. Now we have here, this is the first breaker block that fell to wood. This is the second. So what market always do is the market will use this particular second breaker block to create liquidity for the first one, which is this one. Even if you have three, just know that that first one is always like the main market. When you have something like this, second, third, what will happen is the market will just like create liquidity, go up. There might be another break. Coming back to the first one that fell to wood, then buy. That first one that fell to wood is always like my main target because market use the other ones to create liquidity for it. Now you can actually see something like this also in the market. You might actually see something like this in the market. So I'm just showing you things that I always see. Now, we don't really have a first pullback here. Market didn't use this one as the first pullback. Market will just create pullback. Now go. The question is, are we still using the first one as our POI? No. Now, remember the first, when we started class, I said your POI should always be near to liquidity. Now, between these two POI, which one is near? The second one is near to liquidity. Now, if you are buying from the second one, note that I said market always target the first POI, which means that in your buy from the second zone, from this second breaker block, you should be very, very careful. Market will just like go up, take out this high, not a long buy. It doesn't really give you a long buy. It just like give you this short buy, retrace back to the first one, then maybe buy. You get. So all these things is like experience. I've seen the market always create. I'll give you some examples of breaker block. All this diagram I'm drawing here, please, some of you guys should keep it at the back of your mind. Because now I miss a setup for the sell here. Where I was just looking for entry and I saw this breaker block here. So this breaker block here. And you guys should remember what I said. First, a break to the upside, Now this is sell, not a buy now. A break to the upside. Second, the preferred order block, the inefficiency or FVGA. Now we have FVGA, and now we have first pullback after taking other particular stocks out, like that particular other block. First pullback is this because the market is so down. Then coming back is taking out our liquidity and picking our zone. Then sell. You can see the long sell here. Let me just show you the two. Okay. Example, this one now. You might be asking why I'm choosing this one. Like I said, your POI should always be near to liquidity. And this is a breaker block. But many of you might not understand the breaker block. Let me show you. Many that don't understand how I trade, we just call this particular POI FVG, but it's not actually FVG. Now, like I said, first, a break. Second, inefficiency or FVG. Market already taken out them. Now, remember I said when you have two breaker block, your first one is always the valid one. And what do we have here? We have two odd breaker block. The first one that I marked out, the second one that is mitigated, which is the one I marked out as my liquidity now. We have two breaker block here now. Market use the second one as liquidity because the market, but coming back to the first one that fell to wood as your main POI and buy. So you can see that many time if you go in higher time frame, just be like FVG. Yeah, I remember something like that also happened in BTC. Something like that also happened in BTC. You said that I took some time ago. Yeah, this particular side here. If you watch what happened there, what we have this zone, the first breaker block and the second breaker block. And what happened? Market used the second one to create liquidity for the first one that fell to hold to be valid. All this thing will keep repeating itself. The second one was used as liquidity for the main POI, which is the first one to be valid for sale. So this is the explanation I have for today. And I'm expecting some questions for me to clear your doubt. If you have any question, please do wait to raise your. You use week or candle. Now, this question, I've seen this question a lot, week or candle. When marking my PO, I mark from the week to the body. Now, if you're marking your other block, remember, you are marking from the last, for example, if market is going up, let me just use this one as example. If I'm marking this particular other block now, many of you will ask, how do I mark this particular other block? I mark from the week to the body, like from the last bearish candle together with this one is the last bullish candle together with the bearish one for sell. Now, if you're marking for the buy, the last let me zoom it out. Let me use code. Now, if I'm trying to mark this particular POI now, if I'm marking this other block now, the last bullish candle together with from the week, remember, from the week to the body, the last bullish candle together with the bearish one. Now, if I mark, even if it's a breaker block now, for example, this other block failed to hold, I'll still leave it like this, and my POI will just remain like this. Now, in some cases whereby you see me marking, it's just like a refined entry whereby I go lower time frame. Well, I'll talk about that in the next class. No, about nothing really much about there. This is like me in my market reach your POI. I try to get some re-entries and all that. Now, let me let me show you another one even for the buy. Marking this other block now. I'll mark from the last bearish candle together with the bullish one from the week. So please don't make mistakes. Don't make mistakes. Where do I place myself after marking POI now? If you mark your POI, which is something like this, my SL, my entry, for example, now my entry is from that zone, and my SL should be below that other block in case market use like 1 pip, like all this liquidity sweep of a thing to use week to just cover the low, so you won't get stopped out. So 1 pip is enough. This okay, let me just, who is this guy? Anthony, you raised your hand. Unmute.
Okay. So I wanted to ask that breaker block is something, it gives me a lot of ticket. Like when you're on like 15 minutes time frame, now you see a breaker block, it's clear with the FVG and everything. You now go to like 5 minutes time frame, you will now see a wick touching that breaker block on the 5 minutes. So it will now start like giving you like mixed conviction about whether to still use that POI or not.
Okay, you mean like that? I said lower time frame is just full of manipulation. You mean like now, for example, I understand what you mean. You add a POI, you have a POI from the breaker block. Now, for example, you are using like 1 hour POI, and you saw that
Yes.
POI for that breaker block, sorry, in 1 hour. Now, in 5, you went down in 5 minutes. You see that breaker block is mitigated with wicks.
Yes, weeks, yeah.
So you are just trying to know if that breaker block is still valid or not.
Yes, I want to know if it's because I went too low in
Now,
time frame.
if you have now, for example, remember, if you have particular POI, which is breaker block, you got it in 1 hour, and you see that your liquidity also in that 1 hour, or maybe, yeah, it should be available. You should be visible in that 1 hour. So in 5 minutes, you shouldn't care what 5 minutes is telling you, because you know if you go that 5 minutes, there is a lot of weeks, like market moving up. You know normal market structure now. This pullback, coming down, pullback. So that 5 minutes is just like a normal what happened in, as a normal market structure. You get that 1 hour with FVJ and everything with your liquidity also. You get because that your liquidity makes that your POI valid, so it's correct. No need of going lower time frame and stuff like that. I don't know if you get.
Yeah, I understand. So that means if I let's say like my inducement.
You guys should you guys should you have a lot of time today.
Okay, should I ask my question now?
Let Anton finish.
I'm not done.
Let Anton finish.
Okay, so I was saying that, so that means if I don't see the inducement on the 1 hour time frame, let's say I now go to 15 minutes time frame, I now see a clear inducement there with my POI unmitigated on that time, on that 15 minutes, then I now go to the 5 minutes and I now see a wick touching it. It means that my POI is still valid so far on that time frame.
So far, for example, you are using like 15 minutes time frame. You know that lower time frame. Understand that this lower time frame is just full of manipulation. That's why in the last class, I told you guys to be emphasize on bigger time frame. Well, because lower time frame, you will have a lot of pullbacks. You will have a lot of liquidity. You have a lot of structures, and that's very, very confusing. Now, bigger time frame gives you clearer structures of everything. Now, for example, you have like a POI in 15 minutes time frame, let me say 30 minutes time frame with your liquidity, because you have a POI in 5 minutes, in 15 minutes time frame or 30 minutes time frame. Your liquidity should always be like visible. You should also be visible in 15 also. You get, but if you go down in 5 minutes time frame or 3 minutes, you'll be seeing like weeks. mitigating your
Yes.
POI. But remember what I told you about breaker block. What makes a breaker block valid? That's FVG, that inefficiency, that
Yeah.
liquidity, that structure break. So if you see all these things in that time frame, and if you go lower time frame, you shouldn't really care about the lower time frame stuff. You should just take your trade as long as you're in a right trend. As
All
long as
right.
you're in the right trend.
All right. Then
The next
the
person,
last
Mark.
one I wanted to.
Mark.
Okay, please, what I want to ask is that, you know, this the last class we hold, you talked about the market trend, which is uptrend and downtrend plus ranging
Yeah.
market. So that was the you use 1 week as the example. So what I'm finding difficult is because I'm a slow learner. And what I'm finding difficult is that I understand the direction of the market with the weekly time frame. So what is the next time frame I have to go before I can start looking for my trade? And what you were explaining just now, you were explaining about liquidity. So my question is that what time frame are we going to be looking for the liquidity? Because I was even thinking of going down to 4 hours to confirm the current trend and also looking for the liquidity there. So it was somewhat confusing. Please, can you explain more?
Okay, Anthony, remove your this thing. Remove the hand. Let me know the people if you are requesting for this thing. Now, your question is time frame stuff like that. Now, understand that I don't have a specific time frame which I use in analyzing. If I'm analyzing, I told you guys.
Sorry, sir, please can you show us on your chat?
Yeah, cool down now.
Sorry.
I said if you are in your chart, like if you open your chart, I don't have a specific time frame which I use in doing my analysis. What I do is first get the structure of the market, we get the trend of the market. And how are you going to do that? Is by opening a bigger time frame structure. Is by opening the highest bigger time frame structure, showing you everything that is happening in that chart. Everything that is happening in that chart. Now you're asking a specific time frame which I use. Now I don't have a specific time frame I use. What I do in bigger time frame is to get a structure of where them if you is to get the trend of where the market is going. Probably if you open 4 hours now, you won't get where the market is going to. So me telling you that I get my trend and everything 4 hours and you opening 4 hours and still not get it right is telling you lies. I said different pairs have their own this thing. Whereby if you can actually open 1 week here. If you open one, for example, sorry, if you open 1 day here now, you won't see anything like everything here. But if you open in good, you will see everything happening there. So, like I said, any pair you want to analyze, make sure you open a time frame. That's why you have many time frames. Time frame is just like for you to get a clearer structure of what you want in different zone.
Okay.
Now, open a time frame that will show you everything that is happening in that pair. Now, together with the structure we discussed today, which is liquidity, the first pullback, then use it in that higher time frame. Because if you use it now, you will get to know where market is heading to. Because, for example, you see structures like this. What's your expectation? Buy, right? Now, for example, you open your time frame, you open your chart, and you see something like this. What will your mind tell you? Market is bullish.
Yes.
So in this case, you have gotten your bias of the market, and what you do is what go lower time frame to look for interest for buys.
Okay.
So there is no specific time frame for all this stuff. It's just for you to master the structure. Well, the structure is always the key of this stuff, and for you to do that, emphasizing your bigger time frame structures. Because I don't think many of you don't really know, don't really use monthly, weekly. Bro, I use 3 months. I just zoom out everything to see where market is trying to reach. Now, for example, I think gold. I've been trading gold for a while, for some times now. I've been mastering gold, and I know how BTC. I know how BTC always react. So I basically use like if you check now, we had this structure here, which is the breaker block, and where is the liquidity for the breaker block? This zone. We had another what? Another breaker block, market mitigated. So even before this pump here, around that kind last year, I know something like this will happen because I was trading from these zones. You get, so all these things is just for you to use bigger time frame to get. If you understand where the market is going to, together with this your structure that I've already discussed now, you will use it in lower time frame. Because if you don't understand, I don't know if you guys have made do some mistakes like this. You see, you have buy pattern. Sorry, you have buy setup and you have sell setup at the same time. Why? Because you don't understand where the market is going to. Because if you have this clear mindset, say that market is bullish, you won't actually be looking for sell. But if you don't have the mindset of, you don't have this mind that market is buying, you will actually be looking for sell. You will be confused of where the market is going to. And now market gives the sellers and the buyers same opportunity. So whoever respect the trend of the market, market will respect you.
Okay. How about in that USD JPY? Please, let's go back to the USD JPY.
Okay.
The weekly time frame. Weekly time frame. Okay. Now we just saw that the it is going downtrend. Okay. Now we now drop to the 4 hours. Okay, please just zoom in. Then look for unmitigated order block, which was this place close to this place that you draw out for liquidity. Okay, when he got to when he tap into the POI, what if I drop down to 15 minutes or 1 hour and looking for change of character to the downside?
That's like a reconfirmation now. It's good now. When market reach your POI, then you go lower time and look for the confirmation. Nothing much
Okay,
there.
that means it's correct that way.
Yeah, but I'll talk about that next class, how to do that. Not now. Next person, please.
Okay, thank you.
Meaty. Please, everybody should fasten it up. Like we have a lot of questions here. Meeting. If you have answered the question, remove
good
your
evening,
hand.
sir.
What's up?
Good evening, sir. So
Yeah, but
I did something last week on GPAUD. Please can you check it and why I asked the question?
in what?
GPAUD.
GBPAUD.
Yes.
What happened in GBPAUD?
So I was on a sell. I was looking for sale at the breaker block, but market failed to hold my breaker block. Then use the upper one. So I was trying to ask if you can like show me the mistake I did there.
GBP.
AUD.
I don't trade that pair is fucking
Slow.
GBPAUD. The slow and it consolidate a lot. So all this pair, I would like take. So what are you trying to say? New PAUD.
Yeah, go to lower time frame. They sell. I was trying to open on the set because I have a bad POI down there. Let me say H1 and that time frame.
You was trying to sell.
Yes, I was trying to sell.
But you see, that's why I say you should always be using bigger time frame stuff. You understand? Because for me, I shouldn't be looking for sell in any reason because of now we are looking for sell because of this other block here. I think so.
No. If you go to 1 hour time frame, you see that it's different there.
Okay, let me just go to 1 hour
It's
time
a
frame. What are
breakup
they
block.
for sell?
1 hour
Okay.
time frame. Yes.
Yeah, huge breaker block.
this recent breaker block, it is just last week trade.
Okay, let me not go into the answer to your question is you was going against the trend. But like I said, go it like if you can check when I opened this time frame, what did I do? I went on the most bigger time frame to see where the market is going to. Like I said, the market is moving up. So on no account, you should be looking for sell. Now, in 1 month, in 1 week, in that 1 hour now, everything you're doing should be buys. And if you check, let me show you. I think one week, where did I see that something like that? There is no valid order block here for you to sell. So this is like a trend liquidity. So all these things will be taken out. All you have to do is to focus on the buys. So there's a lot of buy opportunity. So those people that have respected the trend, market respected what that's the answer to your question. It was just going against the trend. Please mute and remove your hand. Forex. Forex.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
What's up?
Okay. The question that I want to ask is about marking this on the order block, the POI. What what if the wick is longer than the body? Should I mark the body to body as my POI?
Good question. Now, once you notice that your other block is with wick, something like big wick.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
You scale down to, remember I said pick a zone near liquidity. Pick a zone near to liquidity. For example, pull back. Now you're waiting for market to reach your zone, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
this your other block is with a wick, like a long wick. You understand? Now,
Yes,
what
sir.
I do is I go lower time frame to see if there is any possible POI that made that wick long. You can actually see a breaker block inside that place. Then you can use that breaker block instead of that other block. I don't know if you understand what I said.
Yes, I understand that one.
If that wick is long, in that time frame you are using to check your POI. Now, remember I said your POI should always be near to your liquidity. So possibly go lower time frame to check if you will see a POI. Mostly is breaker block that always cause something like that, making the other block too big. So that place now, you can actually see like a breaker block inside there. Then use that breaker block and buy.
Okay.
Because your other blocks might be giving you something like this, but your other breaker block can actually like reduce your this thing to something like this. But it will respect you because why? Your liquidity is near to liquidity. So market will not actually go down like this now, trying to mitigate the other block. Market goes and then you know that this particular hoop POI is not valid.
Okay, boss. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Ugonna.
Hello.
I can hear you.
So my question is from last class. My first question from last class about the low and the high. For example, like this after price took that low out, so I noticed that you sold and you still bought on top. And you are like you follow the trend of the market and from like the high time, you know that the market is coming down from the POI and BTC. So I don't understand. You told me I'll understand better after this class, but I don't still understand.
Your this thing, your voice is echo because I don't to hear your voice.
Can you hear it better now?
Oh yeah, talk. Ask your question.
From BTC.
Mm-hmm.
After
From
price two, the after price two there, that was the recent bidder price two. You sold down and still bought later. Like I don't understand. Like after price takes down, you do like how what are like what is the next move like? Because you said you should follow the trend of the market, overall trend. And from the higher time frame, it's coming down for a POI.
I'm trying to get this your question. You mean BTC or you mean what I taught you?
Yeah?
Are you asking of BTC, what BTC is doing, or are you asking of what I said, like the thing I've explained?
It's about theories.
So,
Like
what are you trying?
after price takes, for example, a bearish market, because BTC is recently bearish, but it does that POI. Yeah, like the put the benefit. Like after it takes the low, what's like how are we going to move where we should enter a trade? Because you after it took the low, you still enter the sell and then later took the buy or like because I thought you said when the market is bearish, you should just be looking for sell, but you took the buy to the upside.
Now, I said you should be able to looking for always sell or buy, depends on the trend. Remember, for example, now in bigger time frame, something like this can actually happen. Selling, then you start selling down. Remember, you have a POI up here that is unmitigated. I'm explaining what BTC is doing because that's your question. Now, everybody was actually selling down. Remember, you have a break of structure, a particular pullback, and your words, your POI that is unmitigated. And remember, all this transaction that is happening here is like forming a trend. So all this is like liquidity now. All of a sudden, you see like long buy, take it out, and obviously start selling down. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Well, can you please open the BTC chat so I'm like that's not the better.
So what's the question? Where's the question coming from?
Like before this sell that you took, last sell that you took, there is a low there that price took out. Before this last sell,
This sell.
yes, this last one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a low here, mark out. There's a low that price took out.
Is this low now?
Yeah.
So what's the question all about?
Well, my first question is like how you took the sell and you also took a buy here. When price has got touched that POI, the highest time frame.
Now, remember, I said from your expectation, whereby you have something like this. And what happened? Now, this is, for example, this is a bigger time frame. You expect market to do what? To retrace back. And when you see, if you check, when I took that buy, market is already retracing. That made me start looking for buys for it to retrace to my particular POI before selling down. This is like buying to get into your POI before selling. I don't know if you was like among the people that is in the class. I said from your analysis, you can actually take bull trend, whereby you can have a setup for sell. You understand? This is a bigger time frame stuff now for sell. Now market is retracing back. You can still buy to retrace back into your POI, but note that this is what risky because you are going against the trend. But because market is retracing back to your POI, that can actually be possible for it to happen. That's why I took buy. So if you check here, what do we have? These are the structures you need to be you need to be watching. What do we have here? Liquidity, sweep, before taking out this one, pull back, hold down. So this is like retracing, and I'm expecting sell. Have I answered your question?
So sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So from now, is it after price takes this low that you took this buy from that we can start selling to the POI?
After the low now, after market takes out and the standard structure, after market takes out a low, what do we have? You expect reversal into the zone. This is like a normal market structure whereby market takes out a low and make a retracement. Nothing much here now. So this is like retracement. I took the buy.
Yeah, it has retraced up now. Then when when to make the confirmation wants to start selling back now. That's what I'm asking. Is it after price things down this last week?
Do you understand the structure I explained now?
Yeah, I understand. Say the price is tracing to you, right? That's why
So
it was.
if you understand the structure, why asking me where the market? How do we like this? Is like a normal market structure which I explained now. The first pullback and everything. So what other? I don't understand. What is your main question now?
I get it.
So can I clarify that question?
I beg, help me.
Okay, so now the thing is, now market don't take out this external low, abi, and don't retrace back inside the zone. Based on the market structure he taught us last week, he said all those change of characters that are inside the zone are not like major change of characters. Now, the question now should be, if we see a change of character inside that zone, is it valid? I don't know if you.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm like finding the question.
Okay, what do you ask?
So I said now price has taken out this external low. According to him, now price has retraced back inside the zone, which is the normal market movement. Now price has to now from inside that zone now sell downwards. The point.
See, I understand your question. See, let me tell you something. When market is retracing back now, you in your mind now, what is your mind? You are expecting market to retrace back into your POI. So on no account whereby market is retracing back and give you a change of character, you now turn to sell when market haven't reached your POI. When you look for change of character is when market reach your POI, then you see that change of character to take for sell.
Thank you.
You don't get what I tell you now.
Yes, yeah, I don't clarify them now. Because that question I won't ask them that last week class. So I don't do I did my back testing also. I just wanted to ask that question too.
Oh yeah, now C7. Ask your question. Next person, Habas. Let me ask your question.
No. Sorry, I'm the next person.
No. Relax. These people there has been requesting. I know. Let them ask. I'll come back to you, Farouk. Relax.
Can I ask now?
Yeah, ask.
My question is similar to that first guy question. My question is similar to his question. And the question is that sometimes now, if I want to an entry, like if I want to get an entry to a trade, I usually use like 30 minutes, 10 minutes time frame. And sometimes I'll see another block that is close to liquidity in the 10 minutes. Then if I go to like that 30 minutes, I'll see a closer one, a closer other block to liquidity also in that 30 minutes. Which one is the best one that is valid that you can use?
Can you re-ask your question? I'm trying to get what you mean.
Like if I'm analyzing now and I want to enter a trade, I use the lower time frame to enter a trade. Then sometimes, let's say I see an entry, like another block in maybe 30 minutes, for example. Then if I go to like 45 minutes, I'll see a closer other block to my POI as well in that 45 minutes.
Your POI should always be near to liquidity. So if that one is actually near to your liquidity, you are good.
Okay. That's just thank you.
Habas before Haruk.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening. It's bad speaking. So,
No, Habas. I said Habas, not Habas.
okay. That's fine.
Good evening.
Ask, please. If you just come, just ask a question. Let me just finish.
I want to ask about all this trend line liquidity double top, double bottom. You didn't talk about it. And then second is that I want to ask about this BTC setup, this BTC weekly time frame setup. Like I am confused on it. I don't understand how it's working. I don't know if you can go to the chat. Let me show you something there.
Okay.
On the weekly time frame.
This is weekly time frame.
After this break, before the last push to the upside.
Afterwards.
This break where you put this other block, this thing.
You mean this one?
This box, where you put this blue box. This blue rectangle.
This one now.
Yes, after that break. The following candle, it has no wick. Is that a liquidity too?
I don't understand what you mean. The following candle is that. What do you mean by the following candle?
After this first long bullish candle.
You mean this one?
Sir, excuse me, sorry, sir. I think it means the fair value gap.
Yes, that first fair value gap.
You mean the fair value gap is what? I don't understand.
That's the first break. Which candle is the first pullback here? I'm confused.
Okay, you mean okay. Okay, understand. You mean when you have a breaker block now? For example, now this is like a breaker block, and here now we don't have a pullback, Abby.
Yes.
We don't have a pullback now, and you're asking why I marked that zone. Remember,
Yes.
I said it's not a must that you expect markets now to go up. Now, if this zone can actually work out as my POI, you understand? Know that I can use this zone as my liquidity. Why? Because this zone now went up to break some zone. So many people can actually use this as a change of character now. Like I said, as a change of character, if this actually sell down. Many people use these zones now as a change as this POI as a POI. You understand? For me, I will regard this as my liquidity now for my POI to be valid. I don't know if I'm making sense now.
Okay, I understand.
Sure, you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So,
and the USD JPY chart. I don't know if you can go there, please.
what happened to USD JPY?
There's something I want to show you too. On the weekly. The weekly. This what do you call it? Your liquidity, this one that you mark is inside other block. So I'm still confused about that one.
Which one?
This liquidity you mark.
This one?
No, the one yes.
I didn't mark this as my liquidity. I mark this as my major change of character. Change of character, then retracement to the other block to start selling. No change of character now.
But it's weak too.
Eh?
You can't weak as change of character.
As long as it's a shift or structure, whether weak or body, it's a change of character. Another person, please. Farouk, I don't hope you understand.
I understand.
Farouk,
Okay.
ask your question.
Okay. I won't take too much of your time, but I just noticed that you use liquidity as for your entry, and you also use liquidity for your target as well. Then please, can you go to the BTC chart? Because the buy you took on your BTC. Okay. Can you zoom? Okay. Now you see that buy. You see where you put your exit. There was like a resistance level
You
or
mean
a
this one?
key level. I was very skeptical that price could that level
You
and come
you
down
mean
to break
this?
short. So I didn't even take the buy.
You
Yeah,
mean
the
this one?
second to the last buy you took.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, I even see your cost. Okay, the one that you took with 83,282 or something like that. That
You mean
buy.
this one? Now this is the last buy. Now this is the last buy.
No, not the last buy. The one before the last buy.
This one.
Yes, that one.
So you was
Exactly.
asked you
So
did ask why my
you can
exit is from.
your target.
No,
No,
my
what I'm
target is
asking
just.
is that buy. You get my question because what I'm saying is when price was getting to that key level or that resistance point, I was skeptical because I was not sure whether price would continue down. So I didn't take the buy. So I want to know your reason for because I understand that
Remember.
the market is both taking buys. But I want to know your reason for not to get clarity before you continue taking the buys.
So if you understand when I said trend liquidity, and I've been hearing something like trend liquidity, the question something like that. Trend liquidity is whereby markets going up, maintaining the same range. So if you see things like this, mostly market will just come back and clear it out. You understand? And now if you want to take trade for a trend liquidity, if you want to like take the advantage of the trend liquidity, some of the setup that I see that I take, for example, remember going up like this. Coming back to your question, I want to answer those that's asking me about trend liquidity now. So now after the breakout, what are you looking at for? Looking out for the breakout block. Retracement is always from the breakout block and sell down. So this is not something I don't really use it. I use it when I miss some setups, then start looking for trend for me to grab the opportunity to sell. I don't really use it mostly. So this is what you should look out for. Something like this. So now back to your question. So remember, I was like having this expectation of where like market is pulling back up to this other block. Abi. Now with this expectation, I had to know that something like trend happened here. You understand? You can see the market pulling back, going back to the same other block and selling down. So it's like a trend liquidity for me. So I have this mindset that market will surely like together with my analysis whereby market will reach my PU for to the other block. No, I know that this is like, let me show you. This is like I have this strong mind that market will take it out because something like this, just have something like this in mind. Something like this do always happen. Mitigate the breaker, sell down using that breaker's liquidity. And so it's just the same thing with first pullback. You understand? So now market mitigated the first breaker, which we use as our POI the first time. So now we have other block at the up. So market will use this zone as liquidity now. So I had to like take the buy to take that liquidity out. I don't know if you understand. That's why my TP was just up here. I don't know if you get what I mean.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So
Plus,
it's
I
not.
think another reason that I'm thinking of now. Sorry, another reason that I'm thinking of now is the zone. There's like mitigations around that zone. So there are
Yeah.
lots of mitigation, and it's very very. So I don't
Oh,
know.
another person. Hope I answered the
Thank you.
question. Caliph.
Good evening, sir.
So ask the question, I beg. Just
Hello, can you hear me? Good evening.
ask the question, I beg. I dey hear you. Just
Okay. I have two questions actually. The first one is on your gold. Because I saw the setup, but I did not take it because I did not see any liquidity close to it. Or the only thing I saw was FVG. So my question is, if I do not see any liquidity close to another block or breaker block, and there's a big FVG, can I still use the FVG? This
You mean
this gold it took now. This last buy
this
it
one?
took.
I'll
Yes.
explain. The buy is from breaker block actually, but explain what you mean by I don't get. Explain what was your question?
That was my question because like
Why you
I
mean
there's
why
the
you mean why did I took this BT in this goodbye?
yes, apart you have answered that one. The other question is if I do not see any liquidity but there's an FVG, for some people now use FVG if there's not see any liquidity close like FVG that is close to the other block. If I do not
Okay,
see
that's
any liquidity
FVG.
but
That
there's an
like I
FVG,
said, that FVG is what makes the breaker block more valid. It's not a must, but majority. So that just answer. Now if you check here, you can see why I
okay,
buy here. This is a breaker block, and you can see the liquidity and all that. So another
okay.
question.
And then okay, then the second question is I just want to be sure about the question. Let's see that we are in a bullish trend like this now. We're in a bullish trend. And market is going back to the other block that is at the external low. I hear what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, market takes it out, now making it that yeah in a bearish trend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then when market is going to retrace back to that other block that is at the external high, and market not respect it and take it out also, that means you have moved back to a bullish trend, right?
I don't understand. I don't get.
Can you go to the chart so you
You
can draw the
remember?
lines so that
You remember something like this? I'm trying to get what you mean. Something like this. You're in a downtrend, giving structure like this
no bullish.
downtrend,
Let's use bullish.
bullish liquidity. Now market is uptrend, Abby, and all of a sudden this is your POI, Abby, for buy. Then take
Yes,
it
yes,
out.
this is my PR for buy and price to put out.
Uh-huh.
Then when price now retrace to this other block that is at the external high for you to start selling back again.
You mean this one? Or you mean this one?
The other block, not the breaker
This
block.
other block here.
Yes, and price is not also respect it and break it again. That means you are back to bullish trend, right?
This thing you explain now is basically like lower time frame structure always happens something like that. So it doesn't mean you should change your direction. When you have
Okay.
gotten your direction in bigger time frame, just follow it up. This thing where you explain now is like always having lower time frame, not in bigger time frame. Can I Chuku? Remove your hand. Can I Chuku ask a
That's
question?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Just ask your question, I beg.
Please, my question is, this double top liquidity, was it being the same level?
Bro, when you this is see this double top double bottom trend and all this liquidity that I mentioned is a newbie stuff. And I don't really know why you asked the question, but it doesn't mean it doesn't mean it should be in the same position, like in the same level. It doesn't mean it should be in the same level.
Okay, that's my
Okay.
question.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
Bright.
Hi, this is Bright. So my question is regarding USD JPY. I know it's downtrend after what you explained, but if you go to 45 minutes, there were a lot of retracements. So is it possible, thank you. If you go to 45 minutes, is it possible to take my point of interest or focus my point of interest on 147.176 around that area?
I don't understand what you mean. Market
So
is
it's
see.
retracing. Yeah, I
It's
think it's
retrace.
retracing to buy again, to sell again right now. If you
Mm-hmm.
look at 45 minutes. So I am seeing a kind of order block around 147. 0.176 or 161.
Sure. What's
USD
your question?
JPY.
What's USD is
So,
USD.
correct.
What's your question actually?
So now where should I focus on as a point of interest where it could retrace to before I can start selling again
Your
based on this
breaker
current
block.
structure?
Your breaker block. Okay, you mean this particular one now?
Yes, yes,
Mm.
yes.
For me, I still looking out for the breaker blocks.
I thought is that the first retracement after the sweep.
This one.
Yes.
You remember when I explained breaker block? Yeah, I know what you mean. This one is actually good, but for me, I don't really regard that because number one, we have this is not the first breaker block that fell to wood. You know that.
Right.
So the first breaker block, this is like an experience for me. So the first breaker block is always like this is just like creating liquidity to get to that first breaker block for the initial sell. So for this zone now is actually good, but from my own experience, I can't really use this zone. I will actually wait for that this high to be taken out. Till, okay, for example, let me show what I'm expecting. See what I'm expecting now. I know what you mean. This is a good structure. We are good. But remember, this liquidity now, this
Yes.
breaker block is not our first breaker block that fell to wood. So we still have another those we still have valid breaker blocks here, which market can actually do something like this, sell again. Understand? If you check what happened there, market gave a pullback, sell, still return back into the breaker block here, sell again. I don't know if you understand. Remember,
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I said zones designated to liquidity. So market was not that was my mistake last week. Market was not actually like going back to the first. Well, I didn't took this here because I want to actually like active from the distance because if I was active, I would look for this particular order breaker block and sell because this is like the nearest zone to liquidity. So market will also choose the nearest zone to this liquidity for sell again.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. So that's that one. Then when we go to gold, currently, sorry if you can go to gold chart. So currently gold is bullish, but I see if you go again to 1 hour, or let me see, okay, 4 hours chart, and I see kind of retracement to the downside. So how will you approach a trade on this particular chart right now?
Wait for the structure for the liquidity to be created, then pick your POI now.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's what I needed. Thank you.
Okay. Remove your Emmanuel. Remove your hand right.
Okay, my question is, for example, if the market is in a bullish trend, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, if the market is in a bullish trend and maybe the market it now reacted from a demand zone that doesn't have liquidity, then created another zone above it, should we now buy from there, or we should wait for maybe another one that is below it?
I don't get your question.
My question, like, if the market is in a bullish trend, like a trade you took on BTC, the last trade you took on BTC on the 5 minutes chart, can you go to BTC chart, please, so that I can easily spot out what I'm saying? The last trade you took there.
Five minutes.
So the market created one zone below, but you now bought from the one above it. Yeah. Maybe probably because the market reacted from
another block there.
I'm trying to get what you mean.
I'm saying there is a breaker block that the market created below, but you insisted on buying on the one above it. So I'm asking, is it because the market reacted from another block, a 5 minutes order block from
You
this
mean
side?
this one?
Yes, the last trade, not the second to the last, but the last one.
This one.
Yes, this one, yes.
So what's the question? Like this is structure, liquidity, another block now.
Yeah, I'm asking. There's another structure below it that was created. So the reason why you bought above there because there's another one below that have liquidity. That is the breaker block below. But I'm asking, is it because the market reacted from that 5 minutes other block that doesn't have liquidity protecting it? That's why you bought from there.
Remember, market is trying to push out a high. Like market is trying to reach out a zone. So this is like the recent liquidity and structure for me to buy. You understand? This is not like a
Okay.
bigger time frame structure. This is a lower time frame. Buying to reach out a particular high you wants to go.
Oh, I understand.
Remove your hand, precious.
So please, I want to ask 2 questions very briefly. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So the first question is in regards to your inducements. Are there like different or specific market conditions in which you mark your long week as inducements, which is different from the ones you marked as A return or V return?
There is nothing like weak and body in liquidity. Pullbacks or reaction is like
Okay.
market giving the reaction before. Let me just use reaction. Those reaction that market will like give before taking out a particular high is your liquidity. Nothing like weak or body.
Okay. And then the second question is if you have to recommend the pair whereby one should go like study your concept, what is the one pair, particular one pair you will recommend?
Well, I will this question. The thing is that
I just one because I want to study and practice and study just one particular pair and one pair I'm good with it because I noticed them trying to analyze different pairs. I tend to compound more losses than when I trade just one. I just want to that particular one pair that you recommend I study your concept on.
okay, I only have three. I can't just mention one though. In these four pairs now, you see USDGPY, gold and BTC. But you can actually avoid BTC and gold, like little, like you cannot just be looking at them, but like you see USDGPY is actually like very, very good. It respects structures very, very well. But BTC is very, very volatile, so you have to be very careful. But BTC, I'm sorry, gold is very, very volatile, and BTC. But if you don't really understand this structure, I beg you avoid BTC. BTC is very, very devil. Another person, please. Bat. I've been asking question. I beg. Gonna. No, Bat.
Thank you very much, Linda. So, first and foremost, please can you help me out again in giving me the criteria to look at while choosing a POI, whether breaker block and other block? I really love that. Then, related to structure, yeah. If we are going to take out a particular liquidity, external liquidity, I noticed that prices don't retrace so much deep into the range that we're dealing with. Sometimes we're going to take out external liquidity. So I want to know how to go about that scenario.
Okay, you mean something like this? Then, from what I explained, it seems something like dressing back like this. In some cases, you see like small retracements go up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Then
it tends
now,
to.
my next POI should be like near to this pullback here. You understand? And taking this kind of trade, you should target the recent highs because something like this can actually happen. You know that there are still other blocks below here. You understand that it's not mitigated. So if you're trading this kind of trade, you should target like the recent liquidity, maybe the next high here or this particular high, depending on the RR. If this can actually give 1 to 6
Mm,
or 1 to 7, just take your TP and go, because something like this can actually happen. TTP, retrace back to the main order block and start buying. I don't know if you
okay.
understand. So it's just
Sure,
like
sure.
creating more liquidity for that particular order block below to be valid too.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope I've answered your question now.
Yeah, the first question, I said, what are the criteria to selecting breaker block, order block? I'd love to know, please.
Criteria. Breaker block and order block is our POI. And I said
And
to
what are the
let that,
criteria for selecting a good breaker or a good order block, like the ones that's going to hold? You mentioned FVG, sweep of liquidity, so I wasn't really
for
getting.
the,
So,
I want to get what you mean. In selecting order block, I said how I marked my order block, which is, for example, buy the last bearish candle together with the bullish one. For the sell, the last bullish one together with the bearish one, and I showed you guys how to mark that one. Now, if you mark the order block and the order block failed to hold, there's no other criteria in that particular, because that order block is automatically return to breaker block. Now the question is, how will that breaker block now be valid? I said inefficiency or FVG. In that zone, the market failed to hold. Then the retracement, which is the liquidity, then that your POI will actually be valid now for you to take it. I don't know. I don't know if you understand.
yeah. That makes sense. Thank you.
Genesis. Genesis. That's
Good
your
evening,
question.
sir.
Also,
All right. This is concerning the last class we had. I just want to be sure of some things I noted down.
okay.
You said after market takes out an external structure, there must be a reversal. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Secondly,
Please remove that must. Remove that must.
okay.
It's not a must, yeah, but this is something that always
Okay.
happens in the market. Like majority of it, there is pullback. Like after taking out a particular, like after taking out high, market will like do some retracements. So in some cases also, you see markets. If you check what good have been doing, see markets break high, start moving up rapidly, like moving up, just going up. But just know that majority always gives pullback.
All right, sir. All right. Then secondly, um, you said that we should trade mainly look mainly on the higher time frame, because any change of character or any breakout in the lower time frame is mainly manipulation. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah.
All right. And you said if it is not an external shift, it is invalid. Am I correct, sir?
If it's not an external,
If the shift is not an external shift, like if it's an internal one, it is invalid.
yeah, see what I mean by that. I understand your question. Let me just explain. If you open your chart, we analyze in bigger time frame, and what we do in bigger time frame is getting where the market is heading to. So if you get whereby market is heading to, the market is bearish now, understand? Now you are taking your interest for, let me just say 30 minutes time frame. You understand? You are selling down from 30 minutes time frame. All of a sudden, you see a change of character from that 30 minutes time frame. Remember, a high time frame I've showed you that market is bearish. So that 30 minutes time frame, you shouldn't take that 30 minutes time frame. All you have to do is like get a clearer structure, maybe like zoom out again, like 1 hour or 2 hours to check if there is a zone up that the market is trying to respect, like trying to mitigate before an actual sell. So that change of character is just like, I will take it together with what I said to you about pullback. I will take it like a liquidity takeout to pick a particular POI to continue sell, and not a change of character.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
I don't know
That
if
makes
you get.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir.
Yeah. Samuel. Many
you hear
people
me?
they join. Now they raise hand too. Hey guy, now what can me? Samuel, ask your question.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
My question is, if you have a structure, you have sweep, then a sweep POI and inducement. So price retraced back and took out that inducement that was already there and gave another sweep, a sweep break and inducement. Will you use this new structure? But you did not touch your POI. Will you use the new structure or will you wait for your POI?
I don't understand.
And what I'm trying to say is that you have, let's say you have on the 4 hour now, you have the sweep, break, inducement, and your POI. Then let's say another block there, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
price retraced back and took out this inducement. As far as look at this inducement now, maybe in the 1 hour now, also let's say in the same 4 hour, look at this inducement, but did not touch your POI. After taking out this inducement, now you just gave another sweep, break, inducement, and another POI. So which will you use this new POI that price gave without touching that former one, or you use for that former one?
Okay, wait. I'm trying to get your question. Okay. For example, you have sweep liquidity first pullback, go up, and all of a sudden, another market broke down. You didn't touch your other block. Get another sweep, for example, pullback.
Yes,
Okay, you're asking which zone you will actually use now. Is that your question?
yes, sir, yes.
No, I will use this particular. I will use this one, not that one again.
You use a new one.
Do you know why? Because now this is like another stronger because we have like a liquidity sweep now. Understand? So this is like forming another structure, giving you opportunity to continue the buy. Probably you missed a particular entry. Maybe if you go in higher time frame now, maybe like you was using 15 minutes time frame as your other block. Now if you go like that, for example, let me use this for example. If you go like 45 for 1 hour, this is like a big other block. The market mitigated, but in 15 minutes time frame, it was giving you like a short other block. I don't know if you understand. I've seen something like this before.
Yes, yes, yes,
So you probably use the next other block because this other block now that time frame has already been mitigated.
Okay, noted. I have another question. Let's say in
Mm.
this particular scenario now, instead of another sweep breaker structure, there's like a 1 hour POI that is above, is closer to the liquidity here. And if you go to the 4 hour now, there's nothing there. The 4 hour POI is like this, let's say 30 pips below. And market start down of 1 hour. Is it like you wait for the one of the 4 hour or just
Wait,
buy from the 1 hour?
please raise your voice again because I don't understand what you mean. When you have other
I said
block.
from this scenario now, yes, from
Mm-hmm.
this scenario now, let's say, let's just go for an example. Go there, like you have another block here. You have sweep break structure inducement. So the first PON is in the 1 hour. Let's say it is at 2000. Yeah. Now, if you go to the 4 hour, the POI there is at let's say 1800, 1980. That's 20 pips difference. So price came back and told you one of 1 hour, without told you one of 4 hours. So will you like buy from the 1 hour and ignore the 4 hours, or just wait for the one of 4 hours? Because you understand
You
what I'm saying?
want your plan is to scatter my head like this because I don't understand your question.
Sorry. What I'm
So
trying to explain is, let's see,
now 4 hours now. Hmm.
yeah.
So what are you trying to explain? Is to give me like an
Okay.
illustration.
Yes. Let's say the way you have a sweep break structure and inducement in this place
Wait,
now.
let me just
In the
follow it
4 hour,
with
you have your, let's say you have your
yes.
your own.
Hold down. Let me
You
follow it
said
with structure. Let me follow it with diagram so I can get
okay.
what you mean. So sweep, pull back,
Break and inducement.
break, and now inducement now. So
Yes. So in the 4 hour now, let's say you have your POI at 3000. Let's say you have a POI at 3000. You're waiting for it in the 4 hour now. So then you move down to the 1 hour.
which time frame
The
is this
POI that is
particular one
closest
now?
in the, like there's another
Guy,
POI in the
wait,
1 hour that is closest in the,
wait.
this is 4 hour.
This one is 4 hours, Abi.
Yes.
Then you move down to 1 hour.
Yes. You now have a closer POI to the one of to the inducement,
To this
but it's
okay,
not visible in the 4 hour.
okay now you open 1 hour now. You understand? Now
Yes.
this your POI
Yes.
is giving you something like this in 1 hour. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you mean something like this?
What I mean is that you have another block that is closer to the inducement in the 1 hour. That's what I mean.
Okay, for example, now this is 4 hours now. You understand? Now you open 1 hour now. You have other block that is close to this liquidity.
So the inducement, yes, the liquidity there.
Then use it now because it's the POI needs to liquidity. That's what I've been saying.
Okay, so we ignore the one of 4 hour. Okay, thank you.
Now see, most especially those kind of things, see what will happen. Those other blocks you see like something like this. These 4 hours now. And the other block will be like if the other block is far, you understand, from the other block. If other block is down here and the liquidity is here in 4 hours. Basically, if you open 4 hour now, 1 hour now, and see other block that is here, use this one. But if you see that the other block in 4 hours is still near to this one, you have to wait for it to tap, like wait for the confirmation if you want to use the confirmation for it.
Okay, that's it.
You move your hand, another person, glory. Nobody should ask a question again. Nobody should ask again. This Susu, Glory, and Ugonna. And there's the only people I know now.
Good evening. Good evening, boss. Good evening, everybody. My question is actually very straight. Please, can you go to GBP chart? It's about liquidity.
You what? USDGPY.
GBP.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So in the 1 week time frame, GBP is on a downward trend, right? And if you look at this, if you look at the 1 day chart, if you look at the 1 day chart, you will see that there's an uptrend liquidity that the market is trying to clear. It's trying to clear off in 1 day chart. So going back to 4 hours chart, there was this buy spike that happened, right? Please, can you go to 4 hours? 4 hours. Yeah. Can you please open the chart to this long buy that is downwards? The more recent chart, the more recent one. It happened last week. More recent.
This one.
Yes, good. This one. So the market was on a downward trend, normally trying to clear off the uptrend liquidity. And this spike came from an order block. I traced the order block backwards, right? So my question is this: since the market is trying to clear a previous uptrend liquidity, why is it spiking this way? Because all through 3 days ago, or rather all through the week, right, after this spike, there was an order block for a sell. So I assume that the market is supposed to take out this buy spike and continue downwards again to fully clear off the previous uptrend liquidity. But it did not do that in the 4-hour time frame. Instead, you can see that it's acting as though there has been a change of character, sort of, though I know that the overall time frame is indicating that it's sell. And the liquidity, the uptrend liquidity is still there, that it has not cleared off yet. And then this other spike, this other buy spike candle is still there, that it hasn't cleared off yet. But now the market is acting as though it's going back up. So I'm quite confused on the liquidity, what the liquidity is doing right now. So please, can you explain how possible is this happening?
Okay, understand that this pullback everything is whether buy or sell. You understand? For example, I'm just then, for example, now, this is like a recent low. You understand? That after clearing this low now, market will pick this zone and just if you want to buy and that's sell. After clearing out this one, market will pick out another zone and just if you want to buy and sell. This is like another liquidity again. Pick it out and buy and sell. This is exactly what GBP the GPY is doing now. Now the other block now is like, you check here. This is like clearing out this low and picking that particular other block, clearing out liquidity, which is like a low, and picking the other block for spike. So this is like coming back again to clear out the liquidity, particular liquidity, to continue sell. And it's not like exchange of character. I don't know if you understand what I mean. It's like a
Yeah.
normal movement of the market. You understand? So this is like retracement now. Maybe you can actually see this as a change of character, but no, I don't see it as a change of character. So I will regard this as a liquidity, sorry, a pullback. So I'm expecting a pullback now, which I'm expecting something like this. If this will not look something like this now, because I'm seeing something like pullback here and inside here, VJ and all that. I don't know if you understand. So still
Yeah.
on the sell movements. So all this is just like pullbacks to clear out liquidity, pick a zone that is more mitigated and now, for example, now if you check what happened there, like I said, we have a POI here, we have a breakout block here, and we have this low. And if you check what happened, the market took the sell. And remember, this is like a low here. And where is the first pullback? Before taking out this low, this is the first pullback. You understand? So this sell now upon clear out this low and pick the breakout block, which I was actually buying from here. Then after that buy, what happened? Buy, take out this high. Some people think that this is a change of character for the buy, but this was like clearing out a low, like a high again for the liquidity, pick a zone. There's this other block here in lower time frame. Now, that person that asked me about that lower time frame stuff or everything, this is 1 day time frame, and this is the liquidity here. But 1 hour give us like a POI or that block here. So I had to use it because it's the near to liquidity, it's nearest POI to liquidity. Then you take your sell. So same thing happening here again. Liquidity, maybe pick a particular POI and still sell. I don't know if you understand. So this is like
Yes.
respecting the buyers. Like I said, it will give the buyers and sellers some opportunity. But whoever respect the trend of the market, it will still going away.
Okay. Thank you.
Susu,
Good evening, boss.
Alpha. Alpha, you
Um,
can't answer again. Try me Susu.
yeah, I'm so sorry. My question is, how do I actually know a valid inducement? Because I'm new to I'm new to the strategy, things like that. So how do I know this is, does it have to break structure or something like, I don't know.
You sure say you did this class when I started a big novice. You sure say you did this class?
Yes.
I'm not sure at all. Because when I started this class, I see many of you making noise. If I didn't mute, many people they talk. Now they ask me to pull back. Now this question have been answered many times. Now you are still asking it again. Now, please, what was your question? Specify. Let me answer you. Just specify what is your question, please. Invalid what?
Inducement.
Inducement, like I said,
You
is
said
a pullback before breaking out a particular structure. That reaction that always happen. Let me show you. The food where I eat, all of now just don't color everything. See, this is a particular structure. Let's say market is going up, uptrend. Before taking out the supply like this high, market will give you a pullback, break the high. So this is your inducement zone, which is the liquidity. You're waiting for this first pullback to be taken out and pick your POI and buy. I gave 2 pattern. So this is the first pattern. The second pattern is take out the high entirely and give a pullback and come back again and what sell down, like sorry, buy up again. And if you were here, you just say day here, you would have heard this another entry I talked about, but let's just keep it here. Gonna, which is the last one.
okay, thank you.
No, well,
My question is from your
you have asked me a question today, Abi. Yeah.
no,
Okay.
this is this last one.
Yeah,
So we should
ask the question now.
on if your second to the last bio see that you posted on TikTok. So I noticed that there was the first pattern that you showed us for inducement. Pull back before the break the structure. It happened there, but don't use the other block to do it. Use the one on
Your voice, excuse me, please. Your voice, the shake. Change location, I beg.
I said,
That
I am
I can hear you.
say your second to last bio.
On BTC.
First part, yeah. 30 minutes time frame.
Which time frame?
30 minutes.
What? 30 minutes.
30
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice, there was a pullback for the week of structure that it was at it's also in respect. The first pattern it showed us. That is also in
You mean this by?
yeah, the second. There is a pullback before the week of structure there.
Which is yeah.
But calm down, calm down.
You mean this one?
Down, down, before the week of structure.
Okay, before the break of structure. Yeah. Abby. Okay. What's the question about?
Why didn't you use the other block? There's another block.
That pullback, those other block they mitigated. See now, check the other block, everything is mitigated. I don't know if you understand. This other block is mitigated. This other block is mitigated.
Maybe he doesn't understand mitigated. Can you tell us why you think it's mitigated? Or what
Mitigated
you
is
see?
the other block. For
Then
example,
what do you see?
you have oh, you should know what is mitigated now. Please, okay. If like I go they do on a CV. If you enter this class, and I go do like questions. I will not say on the advanced. See, mitigated is when you have a POI, you have two POI, other block and breaker block. For example, now this other block. Mitigated is when market come and pick this one and buy. So you can't come and say that this other block again and you want to use it is already mitigated. Like market has already mitigated it. You have to choose a fresh one. I don't know if you understand. So from what we are talking about here, this other block is mitigated. So you can't just say that it's a POI. Do you understand what I mean? No more responding. I beg.
Understand it. Hope he did. So one more thing, please. I want to make a request. Last week you sent extra videos, plus the ones that we did. Can you do same for this week and send probably previous video that you used to teach this particular topic? So that will help.
I don't have that. I don't know if I have that record because my iPhone like a lot of messages and a lot of videos and all of that. So I just had to like format everything. So that was like the video that I saw there and I sent it. Get luck, I even see that video save. But for today, I think many people have the record here. You should send it to the group. Then even if I see the record here also, I will send it. If I see it, I will send it.
That will help. Thanks.
Yeah, good night.